Hey everybody, Pat and Sock Puppet Paulie here. Hi guys! To remind you to support your local bartenders, and one of the ways you can do that is pick up this sweet, sweet Support All Bartenders shirt from the U.S. Bartenders Guild. Wow, what a great t-shirt! It really is, Paulie. Thanks for noticing.
Make sure you get those shirts under the We Are Live tab on BuyJack's website. What's up, everybody? It's Chris Denman. It's We Are Live's virtual happy hour. Big shout out to Barkeep. We started this some 3 months ago. We've got Pat Joya from Barkeep in studio.
Hello.
Actually making drinks today. He's a Proud Boy supporter based off his shirt.
Ouch.
I can see that.
Ouch!
Man, that's the first thing on my mind.
Good
they
God,
are not
man.
taking Hawaiian shirts from me. It's not happening. It's not happening. Who's the group that you're part of?
What? What?
Way to start off the show. It's virtual happy hour. My name is Chris Denman. This is Pat Joya.
Hello.
Very excited to have Erica Rhodes joining in. She stopped by when she did Helium when she was through St. Louis a few months back. So excited to have her join from Los Angeles. Our friend Karen Choi will be playing music to close out the show today. Let's say hello to Matt, the producer. He's been working hard. How are you, Matt?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. You keep an eye on those comments. I think it's going to get a little hairy today. It's going to be a
hope
good
so.
time.
Proud Boy moments right off the bat.
Yeah, that's how it
Just-
works. Are the Proud Boys still a thing?
I think so, but like
I don't think they
you
are.
mixed it up. The ones that were the Hawaiian shirt guys were like, I think they were called Boogaloo Boys, is what they were calling them.
That's who you're part of?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Jesus, man. It's
You
a
mixed it up.
fun party shirt to bartend in.
It is
That's
a great
all it
shirt.
is.
It's airy. It looks good, and it means Pat's here to keep it light. It's a good time. Thank you everybody for joining. If you checked our show yesterday, did a little drinks with the band with Erica Wennerstrom. Thank you so much for joining, and that was a blast. And we're just keeping the fun rolling here on We Are Live, and we're just trying to make it through whatever this is that we're living in right now. Pat, let's jump in. It's a virtual happy hour, and I get to see this live in studio today.
I know we haven't done this in a while, have
I know
we?
you've been out delivering those silver lining cocktails all day, so this is going to be a nice little break for you. What's going on today, man? What are we going to see before we talk to Erica?
All right, well, I mean, we're definitely going to play around with some whiskey today. So, yeah, on the cocktail front, if you haven't ordered your cocktails for the weekend yet, silverliningcocktails.com is where you find all that stuff. We've got a Bee's Knees this week. We've got an Angel's Envy Old Fashioned cocktail, which is super cool. We've got a cherry margarita, and let's see here. And then the last one was a gooseberry gimlet this week. And the gooseberry and the cherry, those are probably my two favorites out of it. And I actually brought some cherry syrup to play with today.
Look at this.
Against some of the Knob Creek bourbon, which is our house picked up bourbon too. So,
Very nice.
yeah. So should I start making a drink? Is that what
Yeah,
we're doing?
let's see it, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think too, like if I've even had anything that this is that's remotely like this in the last, I don't know, however long. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you got. Let's see it.
Okay, so I'll kind of walk it through it, and then I'll just start making it. So we're going to do the 2 ounces of the Knob Creek right here. And this is our Barrel Select one for Barkeep. So it's proofed up pretty high, and it also definitely has, it's nice and boozy. It's gonna do its job pretty quick. So then we'll move on to the lemon juice behind that. I'm going to do about an ounce. Well, let's do about an ounce and a half of that today.
You're kind of feeling wild, aren't you?
Well, I'm thinking about how big my glass is too,
Okay, there's a practical reason.
Yeah.
All right.
And then this is a sour cherry syrup that we actually made up. These are this is super good. It tastes like, legitimately tastes like cherry pie. Like, I'll give you like a little shot glass of it in
Yeah,
a little bit.
it's the real deal.
Yeah, it's a real deal. So I like mine a little tart, so we're gonna just do 2 ounces of that, cover that base. And we're gonna put that in. So basically we're making a cherry whiskey sour right now. And first things first, I do have a little bit of egg white here because I want to make this like a real, foamy sour. So put that in. And before we put any ice in, you want to go ahead and shake all of this first. It's called the dry shake, and it helps to use the acid to cook the egg white a little bit. So it's not like, egg white's not scary, I promise. If you're using like a lemon juice or something, it's going to be pretty solid.
No salmonella.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think, do you keep egg whites on hand whenever you guys are doing events?
It depends on the event. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
I'd say overall no, but the stigma behind egg whites is still strong in a lot of places.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fun to do at home, too, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Look at
All
this.
right. So now I got to get some ice.
And if you guys, too, if you're here in the St. Louis area, again, silverliningcocktails.com. They'll deliver cocktails, canned cocktails to your door. You'll see Pat live and in person at your home.
Yeah, I'm going to have a mask and probably sunglasses on, so I'll look like I'm there to,
Right.
Take you
get
away
rid of
and
a mouse nest or something.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Maybe go full dead mouse or something. I don't know.
There you go.
So we've cooled off our lovely glass already. So I'm just getting rid of the ice there.
Let's see what we got.
And if I can open this, that'll be the easier part.
That's fun. We've been helping shoot some cocktail videos, and I felt so bad for Haley that came in and was making those. It kept getting stuck on there, and then we'd have to redo it and everything. But that's part of the job, right? Gets cold.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so get all fancy in here so you can actually see these things. So we'll just straighten it out over here.
Beautiful.
All right. And then these are the cherries that we made it from. We'll just drop a 1 and a 2. And just a little dash of orange bitters. There's 1 and a little 2 there.
Look at you.
Oh, fancy fella.
That is. That's very nice. You proud of that?
I am proud of that. That's a great drink.
Okay. Send it over here when you're done with it.
Right here.
You guys can make this at home and check out the Barkeep website for more cocktails. And if you want to bring the fellas and ladies out too, I'm not stealing that. After all that hard work,
No. I've still got enough in here. I'll just drink it straight out of here.
we'll do
Before
it.
we go
Yeah,
too
I'll get the
far,
fancy one.
what about the form of that drink? On a scale of 1 to 10, how fancy is the form of that drink? It looks very pretty.
What do you mean by fancy? Like, are you
Well-
asking me, like, is it...
If you see a bartender make it, how do you know if it's right?
How would I know if it's right? Honestly, so right now you can kind of see it on the camera. So it's starting to separate, and you can see the foam lifting to the top here. That is a good sign that it was a good shake and everything like that.
Here's how you test it. This is how you know if it's a good one or not. By the way, sorry for looking like Shrek holding this glass, guys.
Yeah, because neither of us have...
Pinky's up, Chris. Pinky's up.
Sorry about that. It's delightful. So there you go. Cheers to everybody playing along at home. If you're just tuning in, again, my buddy Pat Joya from Barkeep is here today in studio. We're going to have Erica Rhodes on in just a bit whenever Matt gives me the thumbs up on that one. Erica's a very funny comic. So very much looking forward to having her back on the show. Pat, I'm curious.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry.
I was like, man, you're so good at that. It was like, oh, that was not on purpose. I am curious. Do you all have any farmers market dates coming up? I know that's been a big one.
The weekends have been doing great so far. We've got the Tower Grove Park one actually on Saturdays. That's Saturday mornings. And then it's the same people organizing. It's the Tower Grove Tower Grove Folk organizing the one in Brentwood I do at the... it's over there, like by Maggiano's and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's area called the Boulevard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will there be a Columbus-themed drink this weekend?
Oh, hell no.
I drove by that 10-foot tall statue there's a helicopter like just floating over my neighborhood. There's 5 news SUVs and people gathering, and then obviously saw the more close-up photos. But I was like, I really hope someone wasn't murdered in the park because that's what I was assuming would happen, and they were just taking down a statue. So. That's how it goes.
Well, as a little Italian kid growing up in St. Louis, I walked in the Columbus Day parades that they would do in October for years, and then you find out he's a genocidal maniac, and it's like, great, that's awesome. I'm so glad I did that for years.
I made paper boats for him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what it is. You're lied to your entire childhood about it.
Well, we're not lying today.
Nope.
We're here for a good time. So cheers to everybody. Again, shout out to Pat for a great cocktail being made. I'm trying to think, too, how if people aren't going to get the cans from Silver Linings and they're just making these cocktails at home, is it easier to batch out and make for a bigger group or to make if you're solo or you're in a small group, how do you recommend people kind of work this out at home, right? So if you have a big group of people coming over, should you cheap out and just be like, bring your own stuff? Or do you want to impress people? With your skills that you picked up on.
Me personally, I like to flex my skills, but I've also spent 20 years in the restaurant business honing these skills. So for me, it's like, oh no, please let me do this.
Yeah.
But when you're,
I see family events. Like I worked at a brewery for a long time, so my grandparents have a great bar. I own it now, but I was resentful for like the first year or two. I stopped bartending because I was like. They're like, hey, bartender, give me that. And if it was anyone outside of like the people that I actually like in my family, I would like borderline be like, get your own drink. Shut up. But now it's fun. I don't mind it.
I don't mind making drinks, for the family, especially when we get everybody together. Most of them are like pretty straightforward, like Manhattan's old fashioned drinker, so that's super easy anyway.
Boy, I've been making Manhattan since the 90s.
But if you're just somebody who wants to make a drink for your group, and you're not like super comfortable with it, make it in a big batch because it gives you a lot more room for error. Like if you, you put a bottle of vodka in, you're like, oh, that is way too much booze. Well, add a little more lemon, add a little more sugar, whatever it is you're making. That way you can balance it out a little easier and you have more wiggle room.
Have I told you about the best Christmas ever, where everybody was super confused why everybody had such a good time?
Did you dose the eggnog? I mean,
there was a giant batch of margaritas that were made. I didn't make it, and everybody's like, "Why? This is like the best Christmas ever. What is going on?" And definitely they used the margarita mix that had tequila in it, and then added like another bottle of Patron into it. So yeah, great work, everybody. It was a fun Christmas, but everybody was just so confused why they were having a really good time. So yeah, good times all around. Real quick, I want to remind everybody, go check out our Instagram page at We Are Live Radio. If you haven't yet, be sure to follow us, and then follow Barkeep too on Instagram. We'll get to Erica Rhodes in just a moment. We'll have her on live from Los Angeles. We have the pleasure today of having Karen Choi on. Do you have a concert that you're looking? I just saw the pageant was streaming Brittany Howard from formerly of Alabama Shakes, a great solo artist and everything like that. I know Matt from Barkeep is huge in the music scene. Do you have any bands that you're just dying to go see? That the first opportunity, whenever the things are opening back up, like you have Helium Comedy Club here, it's got Nikki Glazer tonight, all kinds of different kind of hybrid events happening. Are you looking forward to anyone?
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody specific that I'm really, really waiting on right now because I don't know what's going to get reannounced. I don't know what's going to come about. I'm just, honestly, I need to start getting down to Helium and catching a couple shows down there because I've heard they're doing a really good job of
keeping things
spaced, keeping everything well. And I used to go down a lot, and I'm really bummed out I haven't been down in a while. And it's weird because I'm working mostly days now doing delivery, so I have nights to go see comedy again.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
I transitioned from that too because I was in that business for a long time, and you get used. I was lucky because even my late nights, I was like done by 12, right? Mm-hmm. What's that? Oh, okay, we got that. So we got our musical guest. She'll be on in just a little bit. We'll get Erica Rhodes on in just a little bit. No, the switch over from working restaurant job or late night job to literally like morning radio, like you talk about.
I can't imagine doing morning radio.
I don't think anybody can too. Like the guys like on The Point and stuff like that. Those guys wake up at or people that do morning news. They wake up at like 2:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning every single day. Like it's absolute madness. I don't understand how their bodies even adjust. So
you got to assume the paychecks are worth it because I am sure as hell not getting up that early.
I guess not for morning radio. Yeah. Well, the guys on The Point probably they're doing all right. Shout out to everybody tuning in that has tuned in for the last 3 months or so. These are always a good time. If you don't mind, go ahead and hit share. Let's keep this party going as we like to grow and like to include more folks into our show. Wanted to ask a few different questions. Matt, the producer, you're along with this. You recently got something. I was thinking you are in your 30s, right? That's right.
am. I'm older than you, yes.
Yes.
I'm guessing.
So you're a video guy, but you just got a drone, right?
I did, yes.
Where do we fit into this in 2020? I am around Matt quite a bit now. Pat, I want your opinion, and Matt, I want you to defend yourself first. Is it all right for a grown man in 2020 to be the most excited I've ever seen him about what's essentially like a flying toy? Are we okay with that? Matt, defend yourself first.
Oh, man. There's a lot of things about flying this silly little drone that you just won't understand until you experience it, which is the worst defense ever, I understand, because it's like, oh, no, you just got to try it. It's like, oh, yeah, let me just jump right in on that. But no, I think it's the little things in life. So, yeah, if you're going to down me because...
I'm just curious.
No, I know. I'm just saying you said defend yourself since you were saying. I'm expecting the horrible jokes. Right. I am a giant kid. I do love toys, and yes, it's my little personal happiness right now.
Okay. Are we going to do we have to do a documentary now that you have that, just so we can have the the scaling city shot to start off the
100%.
show?
I also want to do like random sports events now, just so I can have that going to break shot or coming back from break shot of the city. Like, welcome to St. Louis. We are at the Kiel Center for the Blues.
I just feel kind of bad. I have an uncle who's had remote control airplanes for like as long as I can remember, and I always be like, oh, that's cool, but it's like this dorky thing. Now like drones are like the big time, right? Drones they take the cake.
I mean, they're still kind of dorky, but they're fun. They're fun as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see what happens.
I mean, you just have to like say to yourself, yeah, I'm a little dorky. Like, I mean, one of my little weird hobbies that doesn't come up very often is I actually like to make models. Yeah, I build sci-fi models when I have the small amounts of free time.
All right.
Tiny models of ships in bottles?
Yeah, tiny models of ships and bottles.
What's your?
It might be the Millennium Falcon, but it's in a bottle. Gotcha.
What are you making model-wise?
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm working on an
said
X-wing.
right
Yeah,
now.
right now, an X-wing actually. I'm slowly working on an X-wing.
Good for you,
Yeah.
Pat. I'm very happy for you. Do you have one that's? Do you
I'm
have one?
never gonna hear the end of this.
What-
All right, what are we
what's
going?
your what's your like prized model possession?
Out of everything, and it's something I haven't started building yet. I have so it's from like the early '80s, and it's one of the original Millennium Falcon model kits, and I haven't started it yet because I'm not good at like painting. So it's like until I get good at it, we're not building this. Yeah, I know.
I never did. I never had the patience for that, and I'm assuming our producer Matt has made models as well. So I don't want to go in too hard on you guys.
So go at it, man. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll think about it. Quick reminder: we're about to finish it off, but our friend shout out to our friend Chris at Snappy Bigman Coffee for keeping our office caffeinated for the last few weeks. You can special order that to locally. It's a local company. Manso is such a good guy, and it's great coffee. Just saying. Be sure to check that out. Been meaning to tell you all about that. I also have to tell you about Mental Health Matters, St. Louis Counseling podcast. They're kicking ass with everything. That's what you say about mental health podcasts. They're really serious, right? They're kicking ass. They've been doing great work. So very excited about that. Matt, are we no-go on Erica?
I have not seen her come back yet.
Okay. I think she got to look at us.
Oh,
and
there she is.
There
She just
we
came
go.
back. Hold on. Let me try to.
We'll get to Erica
I was,
Rhodes here in
wait.
just a moment. Let's break down this shirt a little bit more. Fan of the leaves or the coconuts more?
I got limes, coconuts. I got limes, coconuts. I got all the things on here. So I think the coconut's probably my highlight piece, though, when it comes down to it.
I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
We'll get Erica Rhodes on in just a moment. She's been super busy. She's been writing, doing shows online. So I'm excited to chat with Erica. She was through here I want to say 6 months ago, but who knows? As we get the comedy schedule back on track here in St. Louis, I'm looking forward to having more comics in studio. We had Tony Robertson last week. That was a good one that we'll release for you soon as well. So we will talk to Erica Rhodes live from Los Angeles. What's up, Erica? How are you?
Hey, I put lipstick on for you guys.
I'm glad you read my demands in the email. Thank you.
Just thought it was being nice, but okay, you
Yeah.
have a list of demands.
Yep.
I don't know how to get ready to stay. Like this whole time, we've just been getting ready to stay instead of go anywhere. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
do I put lipstick on? Do I put pants on?
What's the
I don't know.
pants situation now? I saw a friend of ours do an interview with a large media entity, and she got called out and showed off her shorts on a large program. So I don't know. Are you normal? Are you dressed normal?
I'm
or
in
are
a
you-
jumper. I'm
Okay.
in a jumper.
All right.
So it's a one piece thing.
That's what Pat has on as well, too. I
Clearly,
don't know if
yeah.
you can't
Can you not tell? Yeah.
It's
I like it.
It
Thank you.
is.
Everybody else has been making fun of me the whole show already, so thank you.
The main
luck.
guest loves it. Erica, you were through St. Louis a few months back. I know you were. Where were you quarantining? I know you're back in Los Angeles now. Where were you located?
Well, I realize I'm not good at staying put. So I was in LA and then I was like, I've got to get out of here. So I went to Florida to be closer to my sister, but she wanted me to quarantine. So I quarantined for 2 weeks. Then I got sick. So quarantined for another 2 weeks. So I was 10 minutes away from my sister, quarantined in an Airbnb for a month.
Are you so? I've been tuning into some of your stuff, and I don't know how I missed that. I'm sure it was a heavy part of your thing. How does that even work? So that you lose 80% of your income from touring, and then you have to pay double rent at an Airbnb. I'm so sorry to hear that, but you made it through. Did you actually have COVID?
Well, I have no idea. I kind of joked that I was diagnosed based on the Rorschach COVID tests, which is basically people just diagnose you based on nothing at all, just their emotional connection to it, So you tell
Right.
tell your sister, I'm kind of tired, lethargic, and I might have a fever. And she's like, I think you've got it. And you tell your mom, I've got a fever, a little lethargic. Honey, I don't think you have it, and they're 100% certain, and based on absolutely nothing, just their connection to it, which I've noticed is how policy is happening with everything now. It's like, if you believe masks help, then you're a murderer if you don't wear one, but if you believe it's bullshit, then you can, oh, sorry, I don't know if I could say that, but if you believe it's BS, then you feel like it's suppressing your rights as a human. I don't know. Everybody's got like this emotional connection to everything that's not based on any facts.
Do you feel like you can get called out for just simply stating that? Because I've noticed online you just kind of point things out, and then I'm going to say like you'll get 30% of people just calling you a monster at times, depending on how they feel.
I did ask you can't even ask a question now, right? Mm-mm. You can't even. I just asked why, and I genuinely, honestly, kind of wanted to know, but I get that it was a little sarcastic. I said, why are people wearing masks alone in their cars?
I saw you post that.
That's not I'm not allowed to ask that. It's ridiculous to me. And then people kept giving me literal answers. They were like, well, technically you're not supposed to touch your mask because then you get germs on it and blah, blah, blah. Some people are making multiple stops. I'm like, feel free to give me a sarcastic answer too. Feel free to have a humor still and not take everything so darn literally all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, it's exhausting to deal with people with no sense of humor, right? Like, it's like, what do they want from us?
I'm not sure, especially whenever you make your living. You've had a #1 album on iTunes, comedy. That is what you do.
I was like, I'm sorry, this is what I do as a living. I observe things. I ask questions. Like, if I can't observe and ask questions, I can't do this job, right? Like, I don't know what you want me to talk about.
Well, you've stayed busy, whether it's writing articles or recently, what was that, just a day or two ago, you did the event with, your mentor, you call it, with Garrison Keillor, right? I mean, this is...
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way. How did the event go?
It went really well, actually. Every show has some technical issue. It's like there was a little bit of cutting out, but besides that, we had a really fun conversation, and the show was just... somehow it had a really good vibe to it, like really good you can hear some audience members. So we had some of that, and just hearing that gives you some sort of feeling of, oh, it's a show,
Yeah, and I feel like, too, that maybe that's the only way to go for now. I've sat in on a few of my friends, like we'll just call them Zoom comedy shows, where it's like actual stand-up. Hosted a roast that went really well. Like, that was fun because it was loose and it's really just a live podcast is all you're doing. Did you enjoy any, did you do a Nowhere Comedy Club show? I know you've been busy.
Yeah. Do you know,
I heard they did a great job. Yeah.
They're doing a great job. Now I'm starting to worry that I didn't take enough of a break. I've been working this whole time. Like, I've just been somehow still doing shows. I'm still getting paid to do shows. I started writing more. I started writing a blog. And then I also have been coaching. I did some coaching comedy, like one-on-one Zoom sessions.
How have those been going?
And that actually went great.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself a teacher. I'm not like selling the classes. Like, I'm teaching, I'm not claiming I know how to teach comedy. But I just give them some insights onto like how to get started. A lot of them are beginners and they just kind of want to get like insight into just the basics, Mm-hmm. And so I do a lot of free writing with them, and I kind of tell them to get the artist way and sort of unlock their creativity. And they seem to really like that. So.
Is that, I'm curious too, as I sit with, this is Pat, our friend from Barkeep.
Hi, Pat.
That's right.
You seem so fit, Pat. seems so familiar to me. We never met.
I don't think so, but it doesn't. You know,
No?
we may have crossed paths somewhere. Like,
Look how
yeah.
mad
Have,
she
like,
is.
that-
She's like, no, I was
How
gonna
what?
say, I was gonna say
Are
she's
you
like,
making
why
a
was
Mumford and Sons joke? Is that what we're doing?
No,
right
no,
now?
no,
Okay.
no. I was gonna say she's like, hey, when I was in that dirty studio of yours, why wasn't Beardy there? I think that's what she's thinking.
Yeah, I was like,
Right?
hey, he wasn't here. Yeah.
She's like, he was noticeably not in the studio when I was there.
No, but he has.
I'm
a
new, so.
familiarity. Seems familiar to me.
Well,
But we didn't meet.
you
I,
guys,
mean,
all,
I don't know. I've been bartending for so long. I may have sat and talked to you, for
You know what?
hours on end while feeding you. I don't know.
you know what happened, Erica, and you'll appreciate this. Do you know Kenny DeForest?
Yes.
Okay, so Kenny is from Springfield, Missouri, which is you did a show at the Blue Room.
Yeah.
Now that I think about that,
The
so
Blue Room.
so we had Kenny on, and we had fun, and Pat was he was digitally on. Long story short, Pat was like, man, that guy looked so familiar whenever he popped back on the screen. Kenny was like in queue, but still on the show listening. And Pat and Kenny realized that they knew each other from like getting blackout drunk in college and going to parties.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
so we had the
That must be
connection.
how I know him too. Then I mean, I must have at some point. Been
How much time did you
blacked
spend in Springfield, Missouri with me
Right.
and Kenny? That's the
out.
bigger
Never,
question, yeah.
Never.
Pat, we actually brought Erica on. You have a son.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Tell you. He's a
This is-
good kid.
You guys have been having me on here for 2 months for an
This
intervention.
is what it's all for. He's 11 and he has a great beard.
Father.
Oh man, that's perfect. I'm curious, Erica. I was gonna say, when you work on the coaching aspect, I just find that to be really interesting because you're being very honest about it, and you're not. I know exactly what you're avoiding too when you say I know the person who you're avoiding, not a person, but there is a type that you think of when you're like that person teaches comedy for. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, but
exactly.
there's also really like I'm thinking of Jeremy Essig teaches here. He's very funny and very talented.
I love Jeremy produced my album.
Oh, that was through Helium's record label then. Oh, look at this. See, that's how you make the connection.
Connections today. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
Jeremy's great. He's a smart guy.
He certainly is. He's very funny and he's a great teacher. So when you're doing these, I'm curious if you could teach somebody like Pat, like, do you go straight into jokes or do you say, here's the ammo and then build off of that? Would you say, like, if Pat came to you and he's saying, I have a cocktail event that I'm running. I need one good bourbon joke. Would you two be able to construct that like live right now? I mean, hypothetically.
Oh, yikes. See,
So
that's what I'm not.
we're doing this
that's
now,
what
okay.
I'm not good at doing. I'm not good at like writing a joke on the spot.
You'll get them
I'm
ready
better
though.
at, what?
You'll get the subject ready though, right?
I'll have him talk about I'll have him talk about experiences he's had bartending and things like that. Like I'll get him free writing about the topic. I'll be like, tell me the weirdest things that have ever happened to you bartending, and we'll expound on that. Right? See, he already has all
Pat,
these
let's hear one.
Nah, I don't know.
Yeah, do you have any?
I mean,
No,
really weird? How weird do we want to get here?
So weird.
Like gross weird or just odd?
See,
or,
this is how it works. Look at the
Yeah.
teacher. She's already getting you thinking.
Try not to do the gross.
Okay,
Let's
that's why I was like, what direction do we want to go here?
aim higher than that.
Oh, good Lord.
Look at that.
Yeah, you
Great
guys put me on the
teaching
spot. I could probably pull something up in a second or two, but yeah, my brain just like went blank. It's like, all right. Yeah.
My favorite is couples when you have a group here and a group here, and then by the end, after a few cocktails, and then the end of the night, you've got the two single people have met. That's always funny. I always find that to be really funny whenever you've got like a couple you see it being constructed with each drink, right?
Well, okay, on that exact topic, something strange that I've seen happen on multiple occasions is you have two different people out on like first dates. Or 4 different people out on like first dates.
Yeah.
And then I'd say it's like, at least for what I've seen where I've been like consciously aware of it, like 60-70% of the time, all of a sudden they switch people. And it's like, wait a minute. And then you see them come in, and then like 2 weeks later, all of a sudden it'll be, oh, they're a couple now. And it was the 2 people who were on opposing dates. I've seen that happen multiple times where like all of a sudden it'd be like, okay, nobody knows each other. Let's
That's
just
weird.
chat. Yeah.
That's a really weird, cool observation.
Yeah, I've actually seen that happen on multiple occasions.
Here's another funny twist you could do is like if you were doing a speaking event or something and you could just say rules for not pissing off your bartender. You know,
Oh, there's a
something
laundry list.
right? Yeah, so that would already be funny to have that list, right? Things to not do from your point of view, things that you really can't stand, like pet peeves, right?
Snappers.
Like someone leans in too close, or somebody, you know, does a weird hand gesture, or somebody orders
right there.
a certain drink that you're just like, you don't ever order this drink, right? Those are like, just lists could help you.
Okay, I'll have to think about
Okay, we'll work on that.
I'm
We'll have
craft
Erica
this
back in a
list,
few
yeah.
weeks. We're going to see where we're going. Yeah,
I'll
let's
check
not
on
go
you.
in.
That'll be $100.
I was going to say the preview's free. We've now we've accrued a bill by having Erica on the show.
They don't let anybody in the restaurants or bars anymore. I friendship? I can pay you in friendship?
That's true too.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Erica. That was really
sorry.
insensitive of you. Classic Erica Rhodes. What do you know? I don't want to go too deep into the D'Elia stuff, but do you feel like I've interviewed him before? That's the only interaction I've had. He was, super nice, like everybody is in interviews. I'm curious, real quick, just because I feel like you're unique to this situation. How do you feel about the initial reaction online, Twitter specifically?
You know, the Twitter cancellation policy just concerns me in general, and it has nothing to do with him, because I think he clearly is creepy. But the fact that you can be canceled in just one tweet has always concerned me, because you can't defend yourself, really. There's nothing you can do. You're tarnished forever, no matter what happens. So, people never think outside the box with these things. They think that's okay. They think, oh, well, he deserves it because he's clearly guilty, right? But what you don't see is what happens if someone's falsely accused then. Mm-hmm. Is that okay too? If people are convinced that's a bad person, but they're falsely accused by a disgruntled ex of somebody's, anyone can just say anything they want now. Like, I just have a problem with the fact that can just cancel someone's career in 5 seconds, because it does happen to guilty people, but it can also happen to innocent people. And so that's what concerns me, Yep. But clearly he's got an issue.
It would seem to be that way. And again, I have no idea. But prior to this, I have no idea if you know him personally or anything like that. So that's always weird.
I've always had a weird vibe from him. Like, I've never been able to make eye contact with him anytime I've seen him. And I've never met him. I've never said anything to him. But anytime he's been in the hallways, I'm just like, I just feel weird.
Some people give that vibe off. That's just, some people you just kind of know, like, deep down, there's something wrong.
But also, he's with a different woman every time he's at the Comedy Store, and it's like, you think people don't notice that and judge you for that, you're literally with a different woman every single time you're there. Like, you can, you're fine to live your life, but like, people are going to notice that.
Sure. It leaves it up to, I guess, your own interpretation or something at the same time. So,
I think I have a pretty even viewpoint of it, where I see good and bad in this whole, but the Twitter mob is scary to me in general, but for other reasons.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to die on the hill for that particular person necessarily. I watched it happen with other comics that have had issues, and then they come through and they want you to interview them and all that stuff. And you're like, well, is this out of fairness, or do I give a damn about this person? Like, just because you believe that they deserve a fair shake doesn't always mean that you want to go dying on their hill for them too. So that gets complicated as well, especially if you know more than what's out there.
There was a girl getting mad at me because I made a joke on Twitter that was like, I'm available to play any club where there are openings from canceled careers, right? I just want to let you know. I just want to let you know I'm available. Right. And this girl got mad at me because she blames the club that Chris went to for his misdemeanors. And I was like, I'm sorry, but you can't blame every club that every comic has played at that's done something. Like, that would be like, you want to close every bar where there's been a bar fight, right? Like, you can't, like, you're not responsible for every single thing that happens in your space of work. Like, you just can't possibly do that.
Right. And yeah, that's interesting. People can go all out. And I think just overall, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be said if people were 5 feet away from each other, right? There's the weird comfort with just kind of hurling out whatever thought comes to your mind online.
Oh yeah, like it's just whatever you want to do. So there's got to be some balance there where, a person has. Yeah, the other thing that bothered me is they're like, Chris D'Elia breaks his silence. Well, he's been accused of pedophilia. Like, he didn't break his silence. He took one day to think about his response.
I haven't
right?
even
Like,
seen it. Yeah.
well, they're just articles that are like, he breaks his silence. It's like, that's not breaking the silence. His silence lasted for a day. You're not even allowed to be silent for a day and think about what to say.
Right.
Now it's Twitter area. You got 8 seconds now.
Yeah, you have to do it right away.
He breaks his silence. Like, a silence would be at least like 3 to 5 days.
That's the new silence from Erica Rhodes. I would also, I think just within that line, it's always interesting to me to see who's trying to essentially tattle, and they'll say footage surfaces, and I'm like, bitch, that was on NBC. They just did it with Jimmy Fallon. They've tried it with Kimmel a million times, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure they're very not happy that they chose to do blackface for sketches, or if it's something else. Which I obviously don't support that, but it's also one of those things where, like, it was on primetime TV. Nothing was found out. Like, it was different.
Like when they quote like Louis jokes from his own special, like that wasn't a hidden clip that you dug up. Like, that's
Yeah.
special.
Right. Yeah. It was widely available to many people. A lot of people heard it.
Found him out. It's like he's been talking about masturbating for years. In his special.
Yeah, that was a theme for a lot of them.
Kind of a thing.
Shows. Yeah, I mean, it went on. Yeah.
To be honest, I think a lot of comics are being quiet on the Chris D'Elia thing because they know that, like, they could all be found out for something at some point, right? It's like nobody's safe anymore. So it's like, how much are we going to attack people?
And here's the one issue I would say with that. That you saying that does not mean that you support if he's done something bad. Yeah, that's not.
No, I am totally. I mean, I even
Oh,
said
check out the hashtag.
silence.
Thank you, producer Matt. Great work.
Starts in 3 to 5 days.
That's the headline.
You can't break silence with, like, that would be me being like, I was quiet for an hour. Erica breaks her silence.
Well, we all know that won't happen. You're staying busy,
No.
and
No,
you're.
I am totally. What I'm saying is, yeah, I'm not. I think a lot of and by the way, I've had experience with like 2 to 3 Me Too guys that I had experiences with that quickly got Me Too'd right after my experiences with them. So I'm in no way like defending Chris D'Elia or his actions. I think they should be found out and everything and held accountable, which a lot of these men are not held accountable for any of their actions. But somehow they keep not learning. So there's some flaw in this system, right? It's like there's got to be some other way, defund powerful, gross men.
You heard it here first. Erica Rhodes, we've officially people
DPGM.
Yes, we've been watching Chappelle turn into a Mark Twain figure for many years.
God, that last one was good.
We just watched Erica Rhodes become a philosopher live on We Are Live's virtual happy hour. So I'm proud to have been here.
I have a lot of issues because I'm so my own thinker, and it's very hard to be in this environment lately and think for yourself, right? Because you've got to constantly say, I'm not saying I support his action. I'm just saying people have the right to defend themselves, like they should have the right to defend themselves. That's not supporting his actions, but you can't even say opinions without counteracting your own opinion, right? Which waters down your opinion.
Erica Rhodes, apologist, comedian, truth teller.
I'm sorry if I offended you guys.
Not one bit.
Nope.
Erica, we do have a musical guest coming up, so I have to jump to her
yeah.
real quick. And no, don't be. I want to talk to you for like 3 hours. I always love talking to you. Well, thank you very much. I'm curious, where should people? I know the articles have been big hits for the blog. I know you're putting those out.
Yeah.
Are you going to keep that
like-
going when your tour schedule gets back on track?
I think so. It's not like I'm doing it on purpose. It's like I get these ideas that just kind of feel like they write themselves. So the past 2 blogs just sort of came out of me. So as long as I keep getting inspiration, I'll keep writing them. But Medium, where I publish them, both articles, they sort of highlighted on they featured on their human parts section, which was cool because I'm not like a professional blogger or anything, but now 2 of them have been featured, which was cool. So
Very cool. Yeah, I think you should keep it up. Yeah, if you've got those muscles to flex, I think put them out there, letting people enjoy them. That's never a bad thing. So I appreciate it as well. Curious, do you have any dates that you're picking up? Literally, I mean, I've talked about it a few times. So there's a bit of a conundrum in the comedy world. So you have people like, this doesn't necessarily count as much because she's from here and she's been living here, but like Nikki Glazer's doing a club tonight. She's doing Helium, where you were at. She was,
cool.
yeah, she was doing theaters before that, right? So, and then you have Brian Regan he was doing 10,000 person arenas. He's doing a Helium. So that means with things getting cut down, and they can't even, I think they have 100 seats available because everything's socially distanced. Are you going to get back out on the road, and what does that look like as far as like a tour schedule?
Well, they should be booking the mid-level comics who
Rewarding
already don't draw. That's who
Make
they
it,
should be.
you're the most comfortable.
We're used to this. This is our sweet spot. You're telling me I can only have 75 people. That's what I usually have. That's what I'm used to.
As someone who has produced many local showcases with less than 30 people at some of those, I'm like, 75. Yeah. What losers, huh? Oh, come on, I'll do 75.
You're gonna invite me more. I'm an easy laugh.
Yeah.
That being said, I am doing my first week back at Acme this coming week. Acme in Minnesota.
Oh, great.
Wednesday through Saturday, and we are doing Zoom shows also. So it's like you can watch on Zoom, or you can come if you're not comfortable, because they said some people still just don't want to come out. So It might be really small crowds, but I'm very excited to get on stage again.
Well, I hope it goes very well for you. And if you make it through Missouri, let us know. Obviously, want to have you back in. If you wear a mask, you monster.
Yes. I'm a horrible person.
Erica Rhodes, follow her on Twitter, on Instagram. She's very entertaining. And then obviously maybe buy her album on iTunes or just support her in general. Erica, always a pleasure. We got to do it again soon. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Chris. Good to see you, Pat.
Nice to meet you.
Again, right?
Maybe again. I don't know.
Tell Pat Jr.
Your son is excited to meet you too.
Just please tell me you didn't name him Blake.
No, never.
Not at all. Enjoy Los Angeles. Erica Rhodes, everybody. Thanks, Erica. Erica Rhodes joining the show. Pat, I do want to commend you. That conversation was wonderful, and so was the drink. Great work, man.
No problem. Do what I can. I'm getting better at this. You guys keep letting me come in here, so I'm getting better.
Just making it happen. So for Virtual Happy Hour with Barkeep and We Are Live, we obviously get to talk to talented people, both from St. Louis and nationally touring comics and folks like Erica. Right now, joining for the, I believe, 3rd time on different iterations of the show, it's St. Louis's own Karen Choi. Karen, what's up? How are you?
Hey, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
On?
Yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear us? Are we locked and loaded?
Yeah, we're good.
You're locked and loaded.
Awesome. Karen Choi, local musician, very talented. If you followed the show, she's been on a few times, and no matter the microphone setup, she always sounds like an angel. So she's a very talented musician. I'm curious, Karen, do you have any big news? Something tomorrow, maybe? What's going on in your world?
Well, my first big piece of news is that my dog is probably going to go crazy barking because some people have chosen to have their post-quarantine reunion outside my window, at this very moment.
From 4 to 5 p.m. Perfect.
And it's been going on for the whole time that Erica was on. So I've been on the edge of my literal seat here trying to keep her quiet. So that might happen, just so you know. But yeah, other than that, other than barking dogs and reunions outside, I'm releasing a single tomorrow. And this is a project that I worked on during quarantine. When everything was shutting down, I had a friend that kind of challenged some people to get new music out there, even with all the limitations that we were facing. And so I did. This was a really fun project for me because I recorded my vocal and my guitar at home, and then I passed it over to my lead guitar player, and he added his parts from home, and then we passed it over to Andrew Ryan, who did like the mix and master on this one. So it was a good time because I think there's obviously so many benefits to a studio space, but it was a learning experience and captured something that we're proud of, I think.
No, that is, and you've got like a positive memory moving forward of such a weird, strange time that we had, and for
That's
you to be
right.
able to, aside from this being the highlight of your quarantine, I mean that has to be something that's going to be important to you moving forward. I am curious. Just you brought it up before you came on, and I always love talking to Karen. Pat, what would you do if in the blink of an eye, your name became the center of every hack joke online out there, period? She's a great
Right.
person. She's talented, wonderful person. Now, Karen is now a derogatory term.
What if? Okay, that's where you're going with it. I'm like, what on
Yeah.
earth are you asking me? Okay, me? I don't know. I guess.
Yeah. What if
Pat's
you really
was
patted
the
it?
male equivalent, if you will? Like,
Right. Well, people are trying online. Like, what's the male equivalent to a Karen? I'm like, well, it's lame, and you've already overused Karen. So,
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Dave maybe, but at the same time, like I have some really good friends named Dave.
my brother's name, you
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Oh man.
I don't
Too
know. I
close
feel
to
like,
home.
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know how I do with it. I really don't know how I do with it. I'd probably try and change my name like I did when I was a little kid, and everybody called me Fat Pat. So
Call me Blaze.
I was trying to go by Rick. So Patrick. Yeah.
Oh man,
So much
that's
better.
good.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
good.
terrible way to go about it.
I never tried to go by Topher. So,
There,
so
that could have given you some edge, Chris.
Yeah.
That's
what I need.
Should have. Yeah. You should
yeah.
have tried.
Are you leaning into it? Are you enjoying the Karen talk?
Yeah, I mean, we all look for 15 minutes of fame in life, and so
This is yours.
yeah, I feel like this is really my time to kind of just step into the spotlight.
Well, you've got another.
as a Karen.
Well, she's our favorite Karen, and she will not call the manager. Karen Choi, again, follow her online. She has a single coming out tomorrow. You need to support her. Wonderful artist from right here in St. Louis. Karen, if you would, I'd love to hear a song.
Okay, I think I'm gonna play. I'll play my single second, but I'm gonna play a song called "Hand to Hold" right now. This was off my EP that I released in January, before the world shut down. So
Thank you very
when
much.
I thought I was gonna tour and everything to support this, but is that a good lead-in? I feel like I could maybe use some work on that.
No, it is. It sets the stage and makes us appreciate you that much more. So, hand the hold
All
from
right.
Karen Choi. Thanks, Karen.
Okay, I'm just adjusting here. I've been tired, I've been dragging my feet all over this town. I've been burdened, tried to carry it all on my own. The little things all gathered up grow to become what defines me forever for gain. What keeps me tender, oh, what makes me numb. I need a place to land when this whole world grows cold. I need an ear to bend. I need a hand to hold.
land when this whole world grows cold. I need an ear to bend. I need a hand to hold. Oh, when it's midnight, I can't see. Oh, we leave the light on for me. I need a place to land when this whole world grows cold. I need an ear to bend. I need a hand to hold.
Woo!
Thank you.
Standing ovation from the studio
Oh.
crowd.
Outstanding, yeah.
I believe it. That's what we have to get used to these days, is like the singular clap. You know, we'll be playing to one
Karen,
or two people.
I've made no bones about it over the years now, and I love Andrew, who helped master and everything yours. But I'm a big fan of your music. Think you're very talented. But it's strange if you go and Pat, maybe you've seen this too. Even just like live comedy shows, like I'm just like, that was funny, that was good.
Right.
You're like, you're just not in a position. You're like, I'm sitting on my patio. I don't know. Do you want me to like give it up for you? Like, you can't. So I'm glad that you recognize that, because you'd go crazy
Right.
otherwise. That was a wonderful song. Karen's music's all over Spotify. I highly recommend you purchase it from. Where's the best place for people to buy your music?
Oh man, Bandcamp is always a really artist-friendly platform, but iTunes or wherever, Bandcamp has been helping a little more during this whole thing. So, yeah.
I've been a fan of that. We've got one more song coming from Karen.
Right.
This is officially released tomorrow, and the story behind
Yes.
it, so cool that you put it together during all these times. I'm glad you have a family, so the fact that you can
Yes.
still create and put this stuff out, Superwoman is what you are. So
Thank you.
so keep it up. What's the name of the song?
This is called Fast Lane.
Okay, well, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, you got to figure out the mystery of why I would write a song called Fast Lane.
Huge fan of
Bit-
sports radio in St. Louis.
Right. It's about like
The minute my
I've
brain went
changed-
there, yeah.
Yeah. Like the quarantine has changed me, and I want to be a race car driver now. So
Hell yeah.
it's kind of about that.
Okay,
Just
wait,
kidding.
if I may.
I'm joking.
No, let's go with this. If I may. Hell yeah, dude.
All right, man. Shake and bake, baby.
All right, man. Cool.
I'm just trying. We all have to diversify, like the way we have, make money these days. So that's
right,
kind
I'm
of my
in.
plan. Plan B.
We building the sweet ride, illegal street racing. That's where we get started.
I think so.
All right.
I think so.
Mother and musician Karen Choi got her starts in the mean streets of St. Louis drag racing during quarantine. Okay, Matt, you have some history in the racing world.
smidge.
Could we make Karen a racing star?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do
Okay.
we paint like a gnarly electric guitar on her hood, or do we
Yes.
go with the acoustic softer version?
Yeah,
What do you go with?
We go with a gnarly electric guitar on the hood, and then we also put a race baby seat in the back.
Sure. Yes. Safety first. So
Thank
just
you.
Gotta,
That's why it's
you
a
gotta
race
think about
baby
these
seat.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
It's got the roll. It's got its own roll cage. It's
Karen Choi's Fast Lane is out tomorrow. You can support her and support her online. Follow her, say hello, and whenever live shows come back, support her by attending those as well. Let's hear it, Karen.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Time will call to you when it's running thin. Tell you if not now, It's never gonna happen. It was on the back of my mind. A stubborn sense of life I can't quite define. Feels like I'm in the fast lane. Feels like I'm in the fast lane. Feels like I'm in the fast lane. Going nowhere. The hours strain to see what is plain and clear. Zero in on seams anywhere but here. Feels like I'm in the fast lane. Feels like I'm in the fast lane. Feels like I'm in the fast lane. Going nowhere. May never be a smiling frame. May never be a household name. I never was looking for fame. Anyhow, may never be a smiling frame. May never be a household name. In the end, we're all the same. Anyhow. Feels like I'm in the fast lane. 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 Going nowhere. Feels like I'm in the fast lane.
Oh, goodness. I'm living in the
Thank
fast
you.
lane after
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Wow. Great job, Karen.
Thank you.
For playing it here first. Wow, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
We've got producer Matt, who he's done the Gaslight sessions. He's a musician himself.
Nice.
He's already scheming up ways to support you and to get a live stream going for you. He's like, "Oh, she's quite good." So just into a phone mic, Karen Choi delighting us. So wonderful,
guys.
wonderful delivery once again. Always love having you on, Karen. You always deliver.
Yeah,
so
thanks for having me. I really appreciate you having me back.
absolutely, and tell your neighbor party thank you for letting you work that song out.
Yeah, they broke it up a while ago, so I was relieved at that point.
Good
So
to
you
hear.
didn't have to throw anything at them or anything like that.
I
No
know.
sack,
Yeah.
no sack of tomatoes that have been going bad or.
Right, like ninja moves off screen, just kind of right off of the frame. I
Well-
could not. Yeah.
With your new career, you could rev up your engine at them too. So don't forget that.
I could. That's very intimidating, especially with the electric guitar hood. So
What a way to end it. Karen Choi, Fast Lane, out tomorrow. Be sure to support Karen however you see fit. And Karen, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to get
Thank
out of
you,
here and let you
guys.
get back to your life. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Erica Rhodes. We're back next week at 4 o'clock. We've got our friend Phil Johnson and a musical guest as well. So it'll be a good time. Be sure to tune into trivia that we do every Friday with our friends at George Remus. And again, thank you to Karen Choi and Erica Rhodes for coming on today. Support Barkeep. Get your Silver Lining cocktails ordered. And keep listening to us on iTunes and wherever else. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Hey everybody, Pat and Sock Puppet Paulie here. Hi, guys! To remind you to support your local bartenders. And one of the ways you can do that is pick up this sweet, sweet Support All Bartenders shirt from the U.S. Bartenders Guild. Wow, what a great t-shirt! It really is, Paulie. Thanks for noticing.